Still working on the 2009 and 2008. It's the same for your Ford Taurus X and Ford Taurus models, and Lincoln and Mercury models that have the 3.5 V6. I'm replacing the valve cover gaskets and some of the intake manifold gaskets and just a few things, just all around the top end up here. But just going to give you a few tips on some things that I've learned, because I've never dove into this one before. The issue was I was getting some leakage on this side of the engine, around the cam chain area. And yes, the original gasket on the valve cover was in rough shape. It was original, 160,000 miles. It was brittle. It was, hard as a brick. It just wasn't good. But a couple other things I'm noticing just looking here. Let me get something to point with here real quick. Something I'm noticing right in here. She'll focus. This had a bit of an edge to it. Right here where the casting comes together. That had a little bit of an edge, as well as up here. So I took, some sandpaper and smoothed that down, because I don't believe it's supposed to have an edge, because I'm looking at the gasket here, and it's pretty flat right there. It does have a couple of little flattened areas just right there and there, so I'm sure that may have something to do with that area. But anyway, I don't think it should be raised at all from here to here. So I flattened it down, and I also, you make sure you clean this surface all the way around nicely. I'd used, contact cleaner on a rag and just clean all this off. Make sure you scrape off any gasket residue. You may have to use a little fine sandpaper, and just make sure this is as smooth and flat as possible before you go to reinstall. But another little trick, the wiring harness, for the fuel rail right here was getting in my way, because it usually hangs over. I'll show you. You already know, if you're working on this car, this thing would be all in the way right here. I don't need all that. So, very simply, you pull it out of the way, like so. Get you a little bungee cord. Little bungee, like that. Little bungee, and hook it up and get it out of your way. Simple as can be. Makes it so much easier, just to have some free access in here without this stupid harness being in my way. Anyway, the new gasket, here's something else. Now you can get the entire kit. Now I don't need all of this, but I might one day. So you can get the entire gasket kit, which comes with everything you can imagine. Look at all that. It was not all that expensive. I want to say it may have been $60 on eBay for all of this. So that's a bargain, But anyway, here are the new gaskets here. Something to note. Something to take note of. See those little ribs? Hold on. If I can get it to focus there. See those ribs down on the bottom here? That is what goes into the valve cover itself. Okay, so if you have the valve cover flipped upside down like I do here, the ribbed edge underneath is what goes in first. That way, that's how you make sure that you've got the right gasket installed. It's pretty obvious which one goes where and all, but just so you know, those little ribs go into the cover. And, just wipe it clean. Make sure there's no debris, no dirt, no blah, blah, blah. Wipe it all nice and clean. Clean out that channel also, the channel that goes all around the rim of it. Make sure you clean all that out. Make sure there's no debris. I used an assortment of some brushes, various brushes to help clean that out, as well as a little bit of sandpaper also, because it did have a couple of little stuck chunks on there. And so, you know, I cleaned them off with a variety of little tools. You just want to make sure that that channel that the gasket fits in is spotlessly clean before you install the new one. And I can definitely feel a difference. I mean, this is a very stout gasket for sure. This is very sturdy. But the other one was brittle. You know, it was just not good. Anyway, that's about it. Just a couple little tips and tricks that I've come across in doing this job today. And make sure you don't see anything obvious, nothing broken, nothing loose. I checked these. I believe these are 10.7 Newton meters. Make sure you check your cam covers, that they are snug but not over snug. And you know, while you're doing all this, it may be a good time to go ahead and do a spark plug change, because you've already got all this apart. And this, you know, this job is not difficult, but it is time consuming, because it's not easy to get to all this. You know, once you get the intake manifold off and all that, it's just not easy. So you might as well make a weekend of it and do a tune-up and everything. You know, if you're going to go this far with it, I would go ahead and do it all. Knock that stuff out, because you don't want to have to come back in here in another month or 6 months or even a year. For my liking, I'd rather not come in here again. So I'm knocking out all kinds of stuff, but I've already done a tune-up, and stupid me, I didn't do these gaskets here at that time, which is my fault. So, whatever. Live and learn. And that's about it. So, that's it. Check out our other stuff on our channel here. We've got more projects relating to this car. It's a 2008 Ford Taurus X, which is the same for the 08, 09, and on up, all the way, you know, for the Mercury and the Lincoln models that have that 3.5. A lot of this on this car is similar to the Ford Freestyle, you know, as far as other parts of the car. Anyway, check out our other stuff. We got all kinds of videos that might help you out. So, like, subscribe, follow, and click the bell, and we will see y'all later.